All right, time now to welcome in SNY's NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano. And Ralph, thanks for joining us, number one. And with all the other sports and leagues shutting down, is the NFL still set to open up free agency the league year next week?
Well, they say they are, and they say they are for now. And I can tell you that over the last few days, they've said for now a million times, and things keep changing. Everything's moving very, very fast. But there's a belief in the league that they can conduct free agency because they don't do really in-person visits anymore. Players are just looking for the best deal, the best situation. They know the cities, so there's no reason to do anything in person. They can talk to guys over conference calls and things like that. Their big concern, I think, is that in the middle of a global pandemic, celebrating the fact that they're throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars to athletes doesn't look so good. So I think they are going to be kind of wary of that, but I don't get the sense that they want it to stop business if it's at all possible.
Right. Well, they shouldn't. If they can continue business, I understand you want to be sensitive to it. That's understandable. But you can't stop the operation, and you shouldn't stop it unless you absolutely have to. Teams, Ralph, already deep into the draft prep here. But now many of these teams, like the Giants and the Jets, pulling coaches and scouts off the road. Pro days have been canceled. How big of an impact here is this going to have on the NFL draft?
You know, I don't think a huge impact. I think if you ask the scouts themselves, they'll tell you that it would be really big because a lot of them are rooted in old school ways. They want to have hands-on, be there with their own stopwatch. But nowadays, Dave Gettleman actually talked about this at the Combine before we obviously knew any of this would happen. Nowadays, there's so much information out there. You can get videos of workouts. You can get video chats with these players. The coaches, their trainers, their family, that there's enough information already to make your choices in the draft. So the fact that a scout won't be able to stand there on a sideline with a stopwatch, it's not really going to affect any pick. Maybe somebody could have impressed a little and moved up in the draft or got a team to like them a little bit, but I think those are going to be few and far between anyway.
All right, Ralph, what about the draft itself? Biggest offseason, certainly event. I mean, it's been wonderfully showcased by the National Football League. Still 6 weeks away. Do you still see it going on as planned?
As planned, no. And now I should say that there's been no announcement from the NFL at all. Really, they're sort of taking this day by day almost. They canceled the owners' meetings, but the draft is still on as scheduled. But there is a lot of talk that, if things keep going the way they're going with this virus, they don't necessarily want an event where there are thousands and thousands of people jammed together in front of the Bellagio Hotel out in Las Vegas. So there has been some suggestion that maybe they'll scale it back. Maybe they'll do it from, some kind of private setting with just the players. There's a lot of things on the table, but I don't get the sense that they want to rush into that decision, maybe take a week or so before they make up their minds. They do still have a little bit of time before they have to cancel it if that's what they decide to do.